Hey folks, Charles75M here, and our fabric is set up. We're going to go ahead and trim off the extra so we can kind of give a better sense of what we've got here. And I'm going to trim the top with you, and then I'll just trim the bottom off camera later. Alright, so I'm just following the line here, and I'm taking my time. Basically what I do is follow this as closely around our edge here as we can. And it gets hard to see in some places. But I'd rather cut it a little long and trim that later than to cut it too close and then have cut it and ruined it. And so the other thing I'm also trying to do here is I'm trying to keep the fabric usable for the sides. Now, I could be taking all this care and doing this slow, and then I go to line up the fabric and it doesn't work right and I have to cut another piece. But that's fine. Sometimes I can use this, sometimes I can't, and what it really depends upon is the pattern. And like with anything else, it's a matter you take your time. And if things are not working out exactly well, then you have to step away from it. And a lot of times I get, well, how do you have the patience to do that? How do you have the patience to do all this in this process? Because I wouldn't. And it really comes down to knowing when to step away. And sometimes you just really want to do something, and sometimes you just really want to do something, and it's hard to step away. Well, when you rush things, we all done it. We all know what happens when you rush things. It doesn't work out. You make a mistake. You do something that you are going to have to fix later. And so not slowing yourself down often creates that extra time.
All right, so here we are, just same old trimming for everything. You just want to keep really close to that body line, get as nice of a crisp cut as you can so you don't have to do a whole bunch of small trimming at the end here. There are some places where the fabric didn't get as hard as I wanted to, and so I'll leave it a little long and just go ahead and put some more sanding seal on it, stiffen it up, and trim it out later. But this is really about taking your time. And of course, the lighting here was really bad. It was 1 a.m. So, I'm just kind of taking my time and struggling with it. And as you're about to see in a bit, I forgot to do something else. So what could that be?
If this was during the day, it'd be much better light in here. And so I'm kind of fighting the light, and I made a mistake of, here's the other honest thing. Not only am I fighting the light in here, but a fella, being old as he is, wasn't smart enough to put on his spectacles. So that's making things a lot harder. Okay, so all right, so let's look at what we got here. So here's our So here's a look at our bottom layout. And here's a look here, and here's a look at our top layout. All right, so here we are with Ed's Telecaster, and it's binding mocked out the way he wanted it. And the way a lot of you said in the chat, it should go with the red on the inside, the white on the outside, the white in the middle, and the blue on the outside. And it does look really great like that. We're gonna need one more strip of the blue in order to fill out the space because I had routed it for 4 pieces of binding because that's what I had on my routing set. But you can see that blue binding is going to look really great on the outside. Okay, so all right, and so just for ha-has, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to mock it up the way that I originally saw, because I got to see how bad it would have been, because, you know, I got to know. All right, so give me a minute, and we'll be right back with you. All right, and so here we have the guitar with the way I was originally picturing it, with the blue binding on the inside, and then the white, and then the red on the outside. And I think, you know, everyone was right. The blue just kind of disappears on the inside of that fabric. And then what you end up with on the outside is this red, and it doesn't really do the same thing. So, between the two mock-ups, you tell me, the red, white, and blue this way, or the blue, white, and red, the way you saw it before. And I think the first one, the way that Ed wanted it, with the blue on the outside and the red on the inside, is really kind of the way to go. So, let's go ahead and put on that side fabric next. As always, enjoy your guitar journey. Thank you for being part of mine. Come on, damn mouse.
So you didn't really think I'd leave you without the binding and the side fabric, did you? Come on. Really? So if you like what you see, give a fella a sub.